A very good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am CA Neha Agarwal, your moderator for today. A very, very warm welcome to all present. We are delighted to welcome you all in the webinar being organized by Commercial Laws and Economic Advisory Committee of ICAI, CLEAC of ICAI. It is my pleasure to be the moderator in Know Your Law series number 150. And our topic for today is empowering national statistics, the role of CAs in ASISSE. Before we start this webinar, I would like to apprise you all about CLEAC a little bit. This committee is focused to encourage chartered accountants to shape strategy and policy that unlocks economic, financial, and social value while combining analytical foresight with commercial acumen. One of the core areas of this committee is to serve the multifunctional task of analysis, knowledge dissemination, inputs to regulators, and policy formulation to develop and publish technical guidance, background materials, etc., and to create awareness for professional opportunities for CAs in commercial laws and economic advisory. I would again extend my warm welcome as a Central Council member and earlier as a Regional Council member. I would like to invite the Chairman for his opening remarks. Sir.
Thank you, CA Neha. I also welcome all the officials from NSO and Ministry of Statistics, MOSPI. And I can see on the screen that the entire team is for the purpose of telling the insured and our members and all stakeholders that what is this particular annual survey. And as already CA Neha has said that today your committee has achieved the magic figure of 150. My Vice Chairman CA Purushottam Khandilwalji is also here. Welcome Purushottam Bhai. So
Thank
the
you, sir.
magic figure I was telling, the 150, it's a number which has come because of the contribution of the various members. So once again, welcome to the distinguished speakers from the NSO and the Ministry of Statistics, Government of India, for coming at our forum and telling us about this survey. And we just recall the meeting when we have gone and met the officials, and at that time we got a warm welcome. And when we explained to the ministry that look, there are things which are required to be explained to the stakeholders, since the any complex things which is related to the financial matters, if at all comes, then they always contact their chartered accountant and professionals. So the smooth result, because the ministry is doing the great job of the compiling, so that the data which they receive should be perfect, and it should be also used in the future their research, etc. So as already Neha has explained that what the committee is doing, so I'm not going to take anything on that. But we are not only doing the other commercial law, we are doing in FEMA, we are in also PMLA, we are in RERA, we are in black money, we are Benami, and all other economic commercial laws which affects the profession at large. So in today's session, we have Shri Salil Kumar Mukhopadhyay, Additional Director, who is going to tell us about the detail. Then we have Shri Sanjeev Basu, Deputy Director NSO. Then we have Shri Soumya Chakravarti, Deputy Director General NSO, for the purpose of making us more knowledgeable and helping the clients as well as the country at large. So I encourage all the participants to have the interaction to ask as many as question you can. And the webinar, which is the first of its kind, I hope that it is going to be a good learning for everyone. So over to my vice chairman for his initial remark, because I requested him as I was in flight to Mumbai. We have a MSME Day on 27th World MSME Day, which we are celebrating all across the India in 186 location of the ICI. And this particular webinar is also open to all the members as well as the various stakeholders, those who are interested in it. We have popularized this. And regarding the numbers, I will come back to you that how many members are attending. Over to Purushottam Bhai.
Good afternoon, respected Chairman of the Commercial Law and Economic Advisory Committee, Sanjay Agrawal sirs, Moderator Neha Madam sir. Good afternoon to all distinguished officers from the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, esteemed faculty members, professional colleagues, and participants. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all in the 150th webinar of the Know Your Law series. Sir, we are running a webinar and this is a great opportunity to you be a part of 150th law series, empowering national statistics, the role of CA in ASISSE. At the outset, I compliment to our chairman Sanjay Agrawal sir for the visionary leadership and continued efforts of the Commercial and Economic Advisory Committee in introducing programs that equip a chartered accountant to explore an emerging area of the professional practice. Today, the webinar is significant initiative reflecting the growing collaboration between ICI and the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. As the India's economy continue to expand, the availability of the reliable, accurate, and timely statistics information has become indispensable for inform a policymaker and sustainable economic. As you know, the correct information is gone. There is a flood of information on this era of the digitalization and the Google and AI. But what is the relevant information is a very important. The annual survey of the incorporated services sector enterprises commenced by the National Statistics Officers MSO SPI in April 2026 is an important initiative to strengthen India's statistical framework by collecting comprehensive information from companies and LLPs engaged in the service sector. The survey will contribute a significant toward the generating a reliable economic indicators and support national accounts and evidence-based policy mechanism. Friends, I am from Ahmedabad. I know the Prime Minister well. They was in the Chief Minister of Gujarat. They want a correct and accurate information, not only from your sources, but their own reliable sources. They want the correct information. On the basis of correct information, take the policymaker can take the correct decision. So today's webinar is a very important for all of us. Thank you for coming to our platforms, and I thanks to the speaker who will elaborate on this topic. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Chairman Sir and Vice Chairman Sir, for your opening remarks. And without further ado, I would quickly like to introduce our first speaker for today, Shri Salil Kumar Mukhopadhyay, Additional Director General, National Statistics Office, NSO, MOSPI. Salil Sir is a 1996 batch ISS officer in NSS. He has experience of working in Field Operations Division and erstwhile two divisions of NSS, such as Survey Design and Research Division for designing survey instruments and data processing divisions for data processing. After the creation of two product-based divisions in NSS, namely Household Survey Division and Enterprise Survey Division, Shri Mukhopadhyay is posted in Enterprise Survey Division as Additional Director General since September 24. Besides working in NSS, he worked in Directorate General of Mine Safety under the Ministry of Labor and Employment in Dhanbad. His major contributions in household surveys are in periodic labor force survey, conduct of the survey of persons with disabilities under the framework of the Right to the Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, first time use survey of 2019 in India, survey on housing condition, situation assessment of agricultural households. On enterprise surveys under his leadership, new enterprise surveys in NSS such as the CAPEX survey, construction sector survey, survey on functional cooperatives, and annual survey of incorporated sector enterprises were launched by NSS. A warm welcome to you, sir. I would request Salih sir to please set the context of today's webinar. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A very good afternoon to all. I am thankful to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for organizing this webinar. Sri Sanjay Kumar Agrawal, Chairman, Sri Purushottam Khandelwal, Vice Chairman, Neha Agrawal, Commercial Law and Economic Advisory Committee, other participants, and my colleagues from NSO. This is an occasion creating opportunities to improve survey operations and for better measurements of the indicators of enterprises. What gets measured gets improved and ultimately gets transformed. These words by our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, amply demonstrates the importance of measurements. Official statistics measures different aspects of the society and different sectors of the economy and is therefore recognized as an agent of transformation of the economy, the country, and the lives of the people. The statistical indicators produced by National Statistics Office of India align with international standards, conforms to the pre-declared quality and timeliness, and are produced through institutionalized transparency and independence. In the success story of NSO for generation of relevant, timely, and reliable statistics of enterprises through sample surveys, the stakeholders play a crucial role. Stakeholders with whom National Statistics Office forges a partnership for making surveys successful are the industries, industry associations, researchers, academicians, various ministries, departments, and international organizations. In the recent communication and interaction with ICAI, we have found in ICAI a potential stakeholder in the context of surveys like incorporated survey sector surveys. The history of generation of industrial statistics by National Statistics Office India dates back to 1959. Since then, NSO has been generating industrial statistics for the registered manufacturing sector annually. For this sector, we survey nearly 80,000 registered manufacturing industries annually. For the unincorporated sector in India, which employs a vast number of people, we have instituted, starting from 2021, a survey of unincorporated sector enterprises, popularly known as ASISSE. For this survey, annually we conduct nearly 7 lakh enterprises to collect data on their operational aspects, on their input, output, emoluments, employments, and various other characteristics. To bridge the data gap on intended capital expenditure for the private corporate sector, the National Statistics Office of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation launched in 2024 a forward-looking survey of private corporate sector capex investment intentions. We have conducted the second round of the survey in 2025. Apart from this, NSO also has completed a survey of unincorporated construction sector, as well as own-account construction by the private households for their own use in July to December 2025. Besides, we have also launched a rapid survey of functional cooperatives in April 2026. The results of this service are released in the form of fact sheet, bulletin, and reports. And whenever the unit level data, micro level data, there's a farm level data are released, these are released with adequately anonymizing the identity of the informant, the enterprise, the establishments to protect the confidentiality of the responding unit. Regular and comprehensive data do not exist for the incorporate service sector in India. With an aim to bridge the data gap that exists for incorporated service sector, we have launched in April 2026 the annual survey of incorporated service sector enterprises using GSTN frame. We will be collecting information for nearly 1.23 lakh enterprises for this sector. The success of the service depends, apart from many technical requirements which we take care of, on the rapport building exercise of the NSO and the awareness of the informant about the survey. Such cementing partnership is very, very essential to collect timely and quality data. And that's why this is one of the important exercises that NSS undertakes. The present effort to engage with ICAI is one such instance. We look forward to ICAI as a stakeholder in this effort of generation of comprehensive and reliable information for the important sector. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your opening remarks and setting the context for our participants. I would now like to introduce Shri Soumya Chakraborty, Deputy Director General, NSO MO SPI, for the first technical session, covering topics like survey overview, statistical framework, objectives and policy rationale, legal framework, confidentiality of information, challenges for the enterprise, and the role of CAs in ASISSE. Soumya sir is a distinguished officer of the Indian Statistical Service, has over 26 years of experience in economic and industrial statistics, and alumnus of the prestigious Presidency College, Kolkata. He holds a postgraduate degree in statistics from the University of Kolkata and an MBA with specialization in finance. Since joining the Indian Statistical Service in 1999, he has held several key positions in Government of India. He has played a pivotal role in modernizing one of the several flagship enterprise surveys of NSO, including the Annual Survey of Industries, and has played a key role in the design and implementation of Annual Survey of Unincorporated Sector Enterprises, ASUS, and successful launching of Annual Survey of Incorporated Services Enterprise, Sector Enterprise, ASISSE, building up on a pan-India pilot study. A recognized expert in official statistics, Sri Chakraborty has served on various inter-ministerial committees and working groups and has authored many technical papers in the fields of economic and industrial statistics. He has also represented India in various international forums. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much, and it's indeed a pleasure to talk to audience where the audience is the most expert in the domain, the chartered accountants across the country. Before I go into the presentation, I just want to mention one commonality between the community of chartered accountants and the community of statisticians like us who manage the data flowing out of the government. See, as Salil sir was telling, that what gets measured, it gets managed. So it's very important to have information that also accurate information for effective policy formulation. So in that respect, the chartered accountants and the statisticians have a common mission. We all try to measure something which will give us a policy input. That policy may be for the government of India. In our case, your policy input is for the corporate sector. So what chartered accountants are doing is they are working within a framework of business accounting, the well laid down rules of business accounting as documented in the standards of Indian international financial reporting standards, or in case of India, you also have your Indian accounting standards. Similarly, we in statistics fraternity, we work within the framework what is called a system of national accounts, which is recommended by United Nations and followed globally by all the countries. So, but although the system of national account and business accounting, they draw upon the same economic activities, but they try to give answers to different things, and hence the treatment of a particular transaction in business accounting is not exactly the same as in the system of national accounting. So this survey basically sits in the intersection between these two worlds of business accounting and system of national accounting. Through this survey, we try to transfer the data, financial data, the balance sheet that you prepare into the balance sheet of the country. So there are ways, there are methodologies that we adopt to convert this data, the profit and loss account data, the balance sheet data, into something which directly feeds into our system of national accounting. And the most popular product from this SNA is the GDP, the gross domestic product, that we all talk about almost every day. So how it transfers the data, the final profit, received, expenses data into this output, value added, capital formation of national accounting is done through surveys like annual survey of incorporated service sector. So now we'll talk about this. So this was very important to understand that why you have a business accounting data, but still we need a survey to extract some more data from there, and so that it can feed into the national accounts. So now let us.
Sir, just tell about that. What will be the secrecy of the data and how that will flow in the system? Something about that.
Yes, sure. Let me go through the presentation. We have prepared a presentation. Let me go through the presentation. We'll try to touch upon all the apprehensions that are there in the mind of the stakeholders. Can you see our screen?
Yes, it is visible.
Yes.
Yeah. So next. So during this presentation, we'll talk about what we do, who we are in the Ministry of Statistics. In very brief, we'll talk about the survey in more detail. We'll talk about the classification framework, which is important for all of us to understand, because maybe in common perception, there are activities which doesn't fall under service. But if we understand the classification framework we use for this survey, we will understand why those activities are also service. We'll talk about the sampling frame in very brief, why the GSTM sampling frame that we used. We'll talk about the legal framework of the survey, the confidentiality and data secrecy clauses that we have. Then why we are doing this survey when there is already data collected, submitted by the corporate to MCA through the MGT7 or IOC form, IOC 4. Then the ITR 6, then you're submitting the GSTN, then EPFO. But then still, why these surveys? Apparently it enhances the increases the response burden on the companies. We will try to explain why these data will not be sufficient to capture what we want to capture through this survey. And of course, the importance of chartered accountants in this endeavor. That's the whole purpose of this webinar. So we at Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation is the nodal ministry responsible for the development, coordination and dissemination of official statistics, any statistics, the data that is coming out of the government in India. And we cater to the need of the policymakers, businesses, researchers and international organizations. Like our data are reported in many international organizations, and our country rank depend in many cases based on the data we provide to the international organizations like ILO, UN or UNIDO. This is our ministry's vision that strengthen India's national statistical system to provide strategic input for evidence-based policy making and user-centric dissemination practices. These are our major products. As I was talking about the system of national accounts, and that gross domestic product is the most popular product coming out of that system, the framework of system of national accounts. We do large-scale enterprise surveys, as Salil sir was mentioning. I'm not repeating those. We also bring out indices like consumer price index and index of industrial production, which are very headline indicators, which are important short-term macro indicators for measurement of the economy. And we also do a lot of household-based survey, most prominent among them being periodic labor force survey, which talks about the employment and unemployment situation of the country. There are many other products. I am only mentioning the major products so that you can just get a feel of what kind of data we handle and what kind of data we put out on public for policy making and for use by the businesses and academia. Then coming to the importance of service sector, I don't think that it requires any mention, because we all of us sitting here, we understand that how important the service sector has been in India's growth story. For the last 2 decades, service sector was in the forefront. It steered the growth of the Indian economy. It's critical engine for employment, for export, for FDI, and digital transformation. It is taking a leading role in digital transformation, as we understand. And service sector is the hotbed of innovation and development for this country. A case in I can mention the fintech. The way the fintech is coming out in India is unparalleled globally. There are very less, few comparison of the fintech innovations that are happening in India. So service sector, we all understand it contributes with construction. If we add construction also, because we are capturing construction also in this service, so it's more than 60% of the national GDP. So what we covered in ASISSE, we covered the incorporated service sectors, which are companies under Companies Act 2013 or the earlier Companies Act 1956, and we also the LLPs. We use the GSTN database as sampling frame. I'll talk about the sampling frame later in subsequent slide. Then based on a GSTN enterprise approach, because we follow an approach called like one GSTN, one return, one enterprise, not exactly one return. So we have in our frame around 900,000 enterprises like that. So if a particular company has 10 GSTN, it is in my frame. They are 10 different enterprises. Why we do that? We'll try to explain that. Then it captures the key operational and financial and economic parameters, which as I was explaining, will directly feed into the national accounts. And major focus of this survey will be granularity of information. Will give state and industry level data. Because that's where the policy need is. And what we collect exactly in ASISSE, we collect the operational characteristics like the registration, what is the major industry in which the particular enterprise is working. We capture the fixed asset by type of asset. We capture their working capital and loan to understand the financial situation of the enterprises. And very importantly, we capture the employment and labor cost, which is mostly absent in other databases, administrative databases, except for EPFO. We capture the employment disaggregated by gender. So that's very important metric for policy formulation. We collect the expenses and receipts in details itemized. Then we calculate. We also collect the taxes and subsidies, which are important from the perspective of converting your profit and the receipt and expenses to what we call the value added. So we collect those data, And also, it's very important in today's world to see how information ICT is being used in corporate sector. ICT doesn't only mean use of internet, their online presence, cloud computing, so digital initiatives. So we try to capture these ICT information through a separate block with some curated question on ICT. And then this is what also very important in today's world when the data center is coming in large ways, and we all understand that the kind of energy they consume. So green energy and clean technology practices is very important from the policy perspective. So we are capturing that. So most of these things like employment, green energy and technology practices, and ICT, they are generally absent from the administrative records. So these are some indicative indicators from ASISSE that we are planning to develop from this survey. Once we complete the survey and bring out our result, it will be operational characteristics, as I mentioned, will be type of organization, nature of registration, apart from, of course, Company Act and GST, and whether they are registered with them, because that's a very important aspect. Then ICT usage and clean technology practices will calculate the economic parameters like input, output, gross value added, fixed capital, working capital, capital formation, which are important metrics for the system of national accounts. And then we'll also collect the employment details, which are very important from labor point of view. And our disaggregation will be state, industry, and also company type. So you can drill down a particular industry through state and company type and see how they differ, and you can also use this data to benchmark your industry against the all India standard. So what we measured the production and operational characteristics. We measured the ICT usage and digitalization. We measured the investment capital formation. We measured the input and output structure and value added. That is the most important parameter. We measured the employment, green economy, and regional spread and pattern through the disaggregation of data. These are the major uses that ASISSE will be used in these sectors. It will build a comprehensive database of incorporated service sector, which will be of great use to the country, because we do not have this granularity of information in any database. It will be used for productivity and employment measurement, compilation of national statistics and index of service production. You might have read about index of service production. There is a concept note floated by ministry, and this data will be used in that, and also to study the spatial and sectoral policy formation. So how are we planning to collect the data? If there are companies which have got notice through from our field offices, you might already know that the data will be collected through a dedicated web portal. We have a small demo of the web portal, will show how the data will be collected. And what we have in this web portal, we have our instruction manual, the detailed guide for the companies, how you can fill up the questionnaire. We have the questionnaire, prototype of the questionnaire also, and also a know your survey document, which is very informative and written in a user-friendly document. We did not use any jargon in the document. We try to reply to many of the questions that are in the mind of the companies doing the filling the questionnaire for the first time in the survey. So we have that document, and of course we have this provision of self-compilation. So that the company can self-compile the questionnaire. Since it's a first year, there may be some communication, maybe some deficiency in understanding things. There may be operational difficulties, and for that, our field officers are always there to guide you, to help you to fill up the questionnaire. They are the facilitator in the survey. They will be your partner in doing in filling up the questionnaire. Timeliness is important to mention here, because whatever MOSFI does, we have a fixed timeline, because data, if it is outdated, if it doesn't come in time, it's of no use. So any data we collect, it comes with a timeline. We have an annual release calendar, and we strictly adhere to the release calendar, and that's why time is very important, and I request through this forum that please cooperate with us to provide the data within the stipulated time that is mentioned in the notice. If you want an extension, you can talk to our field office, but there is a limit of extension. So kindly cooperate with them, because timeliness is very important for the government of India to do any survey and use their data for a real-time policy formulation. So coverage wise, if I talk about the coverage of ASISSE, these are the coverage. These are called sections of NIC 2025. We'll give a glimpse of what is the NIC in the next slide. So these are the activities broadly which are covered under this survey. So you can see some of the activities do not probably fall in a common perception of survey, but service, but they are treated as service as per the NIC code we follow. And this NIC code also is not that something we discovered. It's a code which is globally accepted, and we also, like many other countries, we also follow the same code structure. So these are the services which are covered in this survey. Next. And talking about this national industrial classification, this is basically a hierarchical classification, and we can it is based on an internationally recommended classification by United Nations. And we'll try to, with an example, I'll try to give you some example. Explain the hierarchy. Next slide. So on top of it, there are alphabets that A to V. These are the broad sections we call. Then within those sections, we have 2-digit level divisions. Then within 2-digit level division, we have multiple 3-digit level groups. So that is how the classification is. If I take a simple example, section H is for transportation and storage, and under section H there are multiple 2-digit industries. If we consider one of them, maybe 49 is land transport and transport via pipelines. Then within 49 we have multiple 3-digit industries. For this example, we have considered one example, 492. Then again within that industry we have multiple 4-digit, and the ultimately when we go to the last 6 subclass level, we have the final description of the industry. So in this survey, we will be collecting this 6-digit industry. So that is important to understand the structure of the NIC. Next, we can skip this. Next. No, yeah. Now, since we are also getting many queries from the companies and from many other stakeholders that they're saying that I am doing this. Why did I get notice? Because this is not a service. So we just try to list down some example, give you some example which doesn't really appear to be service in our common perception, but are considered as service as per NIC code globally, and hence are covered in this survey. And there are large companies which are active in these services. For example, we can say the data center colocation activities, where the rental of server and networking space in data centers. So these are the services: renting of space for solar energy, town and city planning and landscape architecture. So there are, by just seeing or reading of the description, they may not seem like a service, but they are listed as service as per NIC and hence covered under this survey. So if you have received the notice, it is very much possible that you might have pursued any one of the services that are listed in NIC. So sampling frame that we have used in this survey is as we have already mentioned, is a GSTN database. This is the first time a GSTN database, the tax data has been used as a sampling frame in Indian survey ecosystem. So, and why did we do it? Because we needed, I said, we require a granularity at state level, and the MCA data or any other database, so to say, doesn't give us that granularity at the state level, except for GSTN. GSTN was the best possible alternative to get a state-wise bifurcation of the companies, and that's why we, after a lot of discussion with many stakeholders, from PMO to industry. We zeroed down on this particular sampling frame, GSTN database as our sampling frame. So as I said, that the sampling frame has around 9 lakh companies, 900,000 companies and LLPs engaged in service activities. But we must understand that it is very time consuming and costly to go through all these 9 lakh companies. So we took a recourse to a survey through a very scientifically designed sampling method, where we selected around 1.23 lakh companies only out of the 9 lakh companies for this survey to generate the estimate that we wanted. Talking about the legal framework, you might have seen that in the notice that we sent to the companies, we have written this word that is done under the Collection of Statistics Act. It's not a new act. This is an act which was there in earlier also. There was a Collection of Statistics Act 1953, and then it got updated, and we have now a new act, Collection of Statistics Act 2008. After that, we have the Jan Vishwas, and it has been decriminalized to a large extent. So, what the Act says in nutshell: once selected, the enterprise is legally obliged to comply. Failure to furnish information, refusal to provide records, or furnishing incomplete information or false information may attract penalty. Information furnished under this Act is used exclusively for statistical purposes. That I want to emphasize this point, that we are bound by the mandated by this Act not to share this data with anybody, any other agency, be it in government or in private. So it's protected under the provisions of the Act. Next. And it's not that the first ASISSE is the first survey that is being conducted under this Act. We already have 2 surveys, the annual survey of industry, which has already passed 6 decades of its existence from when it was first launched in 1959, and it was always done under the aegis of this Act. We also launched a new survey, as Salil sir was telling, that a forward-looking survey on private sector capex. So that is also launched under this Act. So it's the whole purpose of saying this, that this next slide, that this Act is not something that you should be frightened about. Globally, many countries. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah, if we see the other countries, then you can see that similar kind of surveys are conducted almost in all other countries. We have listed a few, but there are even countries like South Africa, Brazil, and Sri Lanka. They also do this kind of survey, and all of these countries have this kind of Act under which these surveys are done. So it's not that something new is happening for ASISSE. It's already there. It's a global practice. It is an Indian practice. So there is nothing to be afraid of. The survey is just done under this Act globally. Now, the role of statistics officer, you might have seen the notice has been issued by a statistics officer. The statistics officer is defined through a gazette notification, and the field officers that send you the notice, they are your facilitator. They will be helping you out if you have any problem in understanding the return, in understanding the questionnaire, in operational issues like how to split the consolidated balance sheet, GSTN wise, enterprise wise, how to do that. If you need any kind of assistance, so they will be there to guide you, to assist you for doing this return, filing this return. They will clarify your reporting related queries. But one thing is very important, that they will also validate the information furnished by your enterprises. Even if you have self-compiled your questionnaire, the field office will validate, will ask for the records on the basis of which you have filled in the questionnaire. So they will also validate it comes under the well under their purview of their work as per the Act, and they will also supervise the survey related activities within their jurisdiction. The field office, and I request through this forum that the field office from which the companies have been issued the notices, should be contacted for any operational or data related issues. What is happening is, many companies are directly writing to our secretaries or DG, but it takes a lot of time to respond to such query, because it comes through a channel to the ultimately when the reply goes. So it's better, if you want a quick reply, a quick solution of the problem, it's better that you contact with the respective field offices, because they are the people who will ultimately help you, ultimately give you the solution. So that also is a very important thing that I wanted to flag through this webinar. Now, coming to the confidentiality and privacy, this is very important. It is as important to us as it is important to all of you, the companies, the chartered accountants who are the financial advisors of these companies. So it's very important that whatever data you are giving is confidential. There will be anonymization of the data that we will be putting out in public domain. The results will be aggregated, so nobody can identify a particular company from this data. And it is not that it is our whim. We are mandated by the Collection of Statistics Act to maintain secrecy of the data that is being given by you. So you be I want to assure you that there will be no security breach so far as confidentiality and privacy is concerned regarding the survey. We have been doing annual survey of industry from 1959, and in last 60 years there has not been a single incidents of security breach in that service, in the data that the industry provided us for the last 60 years. So you can rest assured that the data you provide will remain confidential to us and to the world. Will not even share it with any other agency. Now coming to the question, because we are getting many questions from the chartered accountants, we are getting from the companies that we are giving data to MCA. Then why can't you take the MCA data directly and use it, or you can why don't you triangulate the data that we are giving to MCA, APFO, and GSTN? We'll try to explain why these data will not suffice for this survey exactly. If we see the enterprise level data, the operational status is not there in the MCA data, so it's very important for us. The active for estimating the active enterprises number, that we cannot get from MCA data. If we see the detailed activity mix, a company may have several industries like manufacturing, trade, and service. So the activity mix will not serve us any purpose, because we need a sectoral data, industry specific data, and also a company may have multi-location presence, pan-India presence in maybe all the states and UTs of India. Then the balance sheet will have a consolidated data for all the states together. So we cannot bifurcate the data for the state level. So that is something that we cannot directly get from MCA data. The largest gap in the MCA data is the employment data. Apart from, I think, the total labor cost, we do not get anything from the data that companies fill up with MCA. We do not have gender-wise employment data, payroll and non-payroll workers data, and also the training and skilling. It's very important if you, in today's world, that skilling is very important. So we collect that kind of information as well. So this information is important for sectoral employment estimation, labor productivity and gender sensitivity that we do not get from MCA data. If we see the production structure gap, there is a lot of gap we exist in MCA data, because basically MCA data is an administrative data serving the administrative purpose of the particular ministry. So product service wise input and output structure we do not get. We do not get the online receipt, the online presence of the companies. We do not get the contract base, the what kind of outsourcing is happening in the service spectrum. We do not have any idea about the import dependence and the export intensity of the sectors, because unless we know that in granular details, if we do not know that which state is having a supply chain advantage, or which sector is having a supply chain disruption, where we need more, the service is more import dependence, or where the service has more export intensity, so that the favorable policy may unlock the export intensity more. So that kind of information is not available in the MCA. We are trying to capture some data on these, so that these can give important policy input for sectoral policy making. Also, as I already mentioned, that ICT and digitalization is not at all there in the MCA database. Also, green economy and sustainability, if we understand that in today's world, they are very important and metrics to capture. So those items are completely absent in MCA database. And if we see the conceptual difference, of course, there are conceptual difference as well in the, as I said in my first remark, that the way the system of national accounts treats a particular transaction may not be exactly the same way you treat it as in the business accounting. A case in hand is bad debts. The provision of bad debts affect the profit of a particular company, but bad debt in system of national accounts is not considered as a transaction. So there are issues that conceptual differences. That also hinders the use of MCA database directly into this survey. So, and also with consolidated accounts like that filed with MCA, a financial corporation may be combined with non-financial corporation, a manufacturing may be combined with service and trading, which makes the sectorization imperfect. So, if we need a more focused sectoral policy, we need a more better, we need better sectoral data, and that is where the significance of ASISSE lies. So these are some of the same, almost the same applies to the ITR 6 of that the corporates, most of the corporates file. It is mostly enterprise based. We do not have state wise or activity wise breakup. We do not, it is mostly business accounting oriented and governance and compliance focused, whereas our survey is more GSTN based. It is national accounting oriented as opposed to business accounting principles that is followed in AOC 4 MGT7 or ITR 6. And it is also production process and labor statistics focus, which is mostly absent in the database of MCA and ITR. If we see the data gap existing in GSTN database, we do not have data on employment, we do not have data on wages, salaries disaggregated by type of worker and gender, which are again important metrics for employment labor statistics. We do not have information on fixed asset, working capital, loan at GSTN form, and also unavailability of information of ICT and clean energy. So we understand that even in GSTN database, even if we merge the GSTN database with the MCA database, we cannot achieve the goal that we are trying to achieve through this survey. Then coming to EPFO, as we understand, again, EPFO applies to a particular segment of the companies, doesn't apply to all companies. EPFO is mandatory only for the establishment with 20 or more workers. So if a company has less than 20 workers, especially the 1% company or the smaller companies, there is no mandate for them to get registered with EPFO. Even for the companies which are registered with the EPFO, for employees who are earning more than 15,000 per month basic plus DA, it is not mandatory. It is voluntary. I may or may not add for EPFO subscription, and for others it is voluntary. So we cannot have a data which is partly mandatory and partly voluntary. So that will give me a fragmented picture of the universe. So EPFO, that's why EPFO also cannot be used in conjunction with other administrative data to give us the picture that we try to capture through this survey. Next. So if we analyze the data gaps that present in the administrative databases, then we can understand why these ASISSE remains essential despite data in MCA, IT, income tax, GST, and then EPFO databases. So the basic thing is that administrative data sets are rich in financial and governance focused information, but often lacks granularity and detailing required for targeted sector-specific policy need. And I can tell you that even globally, the tax data is very strong database. US, Canada, or Australia, they also have a very strong tax database, but still they cannot use that database. There are even problem of sharing those data with others. So that is another issue, that sharing income tax data is very sensitive information. That is, they are also mandated not to share certain information with any other agency, just like us. So that is also another issue with this data globally, not only in India. Then information on important metric we are not available in these databases. The survey adopts a sample-based approach. We are not going to all the 900,000 service enterprises that are there in the GSTN database. We are going to only 1.23 lakh of them. And administrative records do not eliminate the need for carefully designed business. This is a topic which is discussed globally, and it is accepted globally that administrative data cannot simply replace the carefully designed surveys, and that's why survey like ASISSE is very important for a country like India. Now coming to the most important part of this webinar, we all understand what is the importance of chartered accountant in CAs, the Indian incorporated sector reposes its faith. We all understand that you are the trusted advisor to the corporate sector. So you have a widespread outreach. You have connections with almost all the companies in the country. You have the technical expertise, you are the expert in your domain, you understand the business accounting, and if you give some time to understand the intricacies of the system, national accounting, and how the things can be transformed, then you can be the catalyst for awareness for compliance, and also you can be a catalyst for statistical reporting from business accounting. So our hope on the chartered accountant is very high. We want you to facilitate the corporate sector for accurate reporting. We want you to generate awareness among your companies wherever you are financial advisor. So you kindly tell them also that to come forward to give this data for this survey. You can support our standardized statistical reporting from business accounts. You can enhancing our consistency between accounting and statistical concepts, and strengthening the evidence-based policy making. So I invite all the chartered accountants who are present here to be a partner, to be an enabler with us, to be a partner with us in nation building by using your expertise to make this survey a success through your networking. So I want to conclude with some strong line that reliable statistics are public good, but equality of any statistic depends on the kind of cooperation and the kind of data we are getting. So it's very important to get quality data to get a quality policy. And if we give it's like a cycle. If we give quality data today, then based on that quality data, we'll have targeted policy interventions, and that then the benefit of the policy will again trickle down to you as a data provider. So it's a cycle, and we have to start somewhere. And let's take this as a starting point where we give our data, then the policy will be formed, and the benefit of the policy will then trickle down to me. Then together, let us build a stronger evidence base for a stronger India. And in doing so, let's contribute in nation building. I just stop with the last line that every balance sheet that you prepare tells us a story. But if we stitch all the balance sheet of all the companies of the country, that tells us the story of the whole India, the whole Indian economy. So my expectation from all of you is very high, and I stop here. I will be taking questions from you. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. And On behalf of the fraternity, I would like to say that we are already doing this for the past few months. Our clients have been receiving notices from the field offices, and we have been apprising them already that this is not a scam, and that you have to reply. It is mandatory, and that don't be afraid to reply to the statistical survey. It is very normal to have such a statistics. We give them the example of the population statistics, saying जैसे population का calculation होता है वैसे data का calculation is happening. So just give that to the authorities the way they have requested in the notice and move on. So yes, thank you so much, sir. Sir, we have 15 minutes for this technical round. Shall we take the technical questions right now, or shall we take it after technical round two?
So we believe that if we can take all the questions together after the technical round, that will be better, because maybe some of the questions are answered by next
Yes.
presentation for officers.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Done. So I'll coming to the second technical presentation. We have with us Sri Sanjeev Basu, Deputy Director General NSO MOSPI. Sanjeev sir is a 2000 batch ISS officer in NSS. He has experience of working in various offices of Field Operations Division and erstwhile Data Processing Divisions. The officer is presently posted in Enterprise Survey Division as Deputy Director General since September 25. Besides working in an NSS, he worked in Ministry of MSME, Directorate General of Commercial Intelligence and Statistics under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, All India Health and Hygiene Institute under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. His major contributions in Enterprise Division are related to data processing of large-scale sample survey. Ministry of Statistics and BI shifted to all these services in digital platform eSigma, and the officer is in charge of such initiative. A very warm welcome to you, sir, and a very warm welcome to your entire team as well. I would request Sanjeev sir to enlighten our members with the web portal walkthrough. Sir, would you like to present it?
Yes.
Yes,
We will
please.
just have a presentation, just a brief introduction to what our previous speaker has already informed. Since we have been into this data capturing mechanism of doing ASI, Annual Industry of Service for Industry ASI, for around 1959 it has started. So we usually collected it in the paper format. Previously, but from 2019 onwards, ministry has taken this step to move into the any service to the all the service to the digital platform. So that's why we put it as a common platform where we conduct all type of service, whether it is through web portal, whether through any personal assistant interview mode in the household service. So taking this forward, this ASISSE survey, so we have mechanized this web portal through which the industry will be self-compiling the returns that have been some around 169 field offices over India we have. From there, you will be receiving the notices and to the respective units, around 1.23 lakhs sample units to be surveyed. So after we will just elaborate it through our presentation while receiving the notice, what are the next steps to be done from the industry's end, that you can also, as a financial advisor to the companies, you can brief and make them aware that what are the steps required to be filled up in the, it is a very secured web portal. It is has some dedicated login ID passwords. It is nothing like that. If you give some information in that portal, it may get disclosed somewhere else. So it is Government of India's dedicated MOSPI's website web portal, and we covered all the security checks and everything, so that no data leakage and nothing will be like that. All the data are very much while you transmitting the data, it is encrypted in the web portal through web portal, so that's nothing to worry about. Data may be disclosed in the respect of confidentiality. So we usually put it as a notice for 30 days. when the unit used to get a notice, and they require to fill it up within 30 days of the return. But they can seek extension if they require, not such times. And once they fill up the returns, they can submit the returns. And if they have not responded, so that may be auto compile. We will just describe all those things in the just a small presentation. I would request our team member Surya to just go through just a 10-minute presentation to the just a walkthrough through the web portal that will enable you to means file the return in proper manner. So thank you, sir. Am I audible, and is the PPT visible?
You're audible, but the PPT is still buffering. Try and share again.
Okay, now is it showing the first slide?
No.
Share again.
Share the stop share.
Try again.
Yes.
1 second. I think there is some network issue from my side, maybe. Abhishek, can you please check? Abhishek or Mayank?
No, ma'am. The PPT is not visible.
You're not able to see it as well. Okay.
Is it now showing?
No, sir. No.
No, sir.
ভিডিওটা করে দাও, ব্যান্ডউইথে কিছু যদি প্রবলেম হচ্ছে ভিডিওটা বন্ধ করে দাও, ভিডিওটা বন্ধ করো, স্টপ করো।
Share.
আস্তে আস্তে বলো। এন্টার স্ক্রিন করেছো? ঠিক আছে করো। ওটা ছেড়ে দাও। Is it visible now?
No,
No, sir.
sir. In fact, we lost your video also.
No, video we have closed actually.
Acha. Okay. Okay. But no, the screen is not visible.
Should I share the PPT right with it? Closing. Stop.
You can share it on the group. I can present it, or maybe the office can present it. Not visible.
Share
You can share the WhatsApp share. Okay, I'm sharing the PPT then.
Shall we share in the group chat?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
Mayank sir? Mayank sir, would the tech team play it from their side, or shall I?
No, ma'am. We have to share it from our end.
Okay.
So, if possible, sir can share in the WhatsApp group. So then it's up to us that
Sir
if you can share.
Mayank sir has just shared it in the messages only. Messages of the webinar.
Tech support, please make Abhishek Kashyap the co-host, if possible.
Hello.
Yeah, is our screen visible now?
Once again, sir, the screen is not visible. I request the tech team to make the co-hosting right to the commercial laws and economic advisory system, sir. Then I will
So-
share the PPT on my, yeah.
So,
1 second, please.
Mr. Jay.
Is the PPT is visible?
Yes.
Yes,
The
yes.
slides are
Yes,
moving?
yes, yes,
That's right.
yes.
Okay. We will continue.
Okay, so basically our topic is ASISSE web portal walkthrough. So we'll start with the enterprise journey from receipt of the notice, and from there we'll talk about verification of notice, and after that we will talk about the portal access and how to log in using the user ID and password, and from there we will talk about how to fill in the schedule and the work using the working sheet module, and the item mapping which is there in the embedded in the system, uh, and after that we'll talk about the validation checks which are already embedded in the web portal, and the various issues the enterprises are facing, and what is the resolution and support we have for them. Now please move on to the next slide. So every enterprise must have received a notice which you can see on the left side of your screen. So what it means is that it informs the enterprise that it has been selected under the ASISSE survey, and this is a statutory notice which is issued under the Aegis of Collection of Statistics Act, and this is the first formal point of engagement with the ASISSE survey process. So what should enterprise at first look in the notice? So first of all, they must confirm whether the enterprise name is the same, matching with the legal entity name. Is the DSL number there or not, which is mainly our primary key for each sample. After that, you will have to look for the user ID, which is the GSTN ID for login, and the initial password for login into the web portal, which is there. Also, the reference year for the survey is present, which is the ASISSE 2026 survey. Apart from that, we have very important information regarding the SRO contact details address, which will help you later in addressing your any issues or support you require. Please move on to the next slide. Uh, Please move on to the next slide. Okay, thank you. First of all, I think everyone every enterprise who has received, they might think whether this notice is genuine or is this a fraud or scam. So first of all, we have a few indicators which we would like to tell. First of all, the enterprise has to match the GSTN ID and the enterprise name with that should correspond to their enterprise records. Apart from that, the notice will have the official signatures of the SSO statistics officer, their details, and the office address, and also the signature of the SSO compiler who is attached with that enterprise. Apart from that, the notice will have the official link of MOSPI website, which is the gov.in. If you look at the left hand side of the slide, so this is the official portal link for filing the return, and after that can also we have also a directory address directory which we have recently launched, where you can search for the SSO compiler and SRO coordinated details. You can search it using GSTN ID, DSL ID, and you can verify you can call them or email them, and you can verify whether the notice is genuine or not if you have any problems with it. So apart from that, one highlight I would like to make is do not please share your OTPs or any remote access permissions, or do not make any payments, because this survey does not require such things. So one rule of thumb is that if someone asks for payment or OTP or anything, please do not treat it as suspicious and report it to the concerned authorities. So this is how you check whether the notice is genuine or not. Please move on to the next slide. So first of all, if you access the portal, the landing page will look something like this. So we have various guidance and resource materials available on the page itself. We have the instruction manual, which is a comprehensive guideline on the questionnaire. It basically describes the concepts and definitions on each item what we are which we require data on. So you also have the questionnaire there to understand what kind of information is expected to be collected from you. Apart from that, we have the ASISSE user manual survey, which is kind of a guidance for enterprise users how to file in the return. So how to log into the web portal, how to fill in each block step by step. Apart from that, we also have tutorial videos where we have clearly described each and every scenario, how to tackle errors, how to validate each sheet, how to go use the working sheet to fill in the schedule. So all these things are there. One point I must mention is that several times we have received queries that enterprise users are unable to log in. So the enterprise users must use the survey portal. This is the portal which is dedicated for filing in the return. The admin portal is only reserved for the NSO officials. Please move on to the next slide. So once you log in using the GSTN ID, which is a user ID, and the initial password, which is mentioned in the notice itself, as a security protocol, you have to change your password on, itself in the first login. So after that, you will get automatically logged out from the portal, and you have to re-log in again using the new password you've generated. So as a good security habit, what you can do is whoever the authorized user is, who is first time logging into the portal, they have to secure their password, which they have changed. They have to keep it with them for any future reference. So apart from that, you have to give the portal in permissions like location prompts and permissions which they require. And if the password is lost, that they can receive through official channel. We will talk about that later. Please do not share your password with via any unofficial group. So as a password hygiene, so you can always avoid extra spaces when you're typing in the user ID of password. And one feature we have in the portal is you cannot, yeah, as a user ID, you cannot log into the portal simultaneously at the same time in two desktops. So suppose you are logging into the portal using your user ID and password, and after that you using a separate desktop and you're logging in using the same ID. So automatically the previous session will get logged out. Please move on to the next slide. So after logging, you will get a screen like this, which is the dashboard, which is basically the control center for filling in the return. As you can see, we have several quick action buttons, which is self-explanatory, starting with the start survey module, which you can use for filling in the survey. Next, we have the review answers module, where you can, which is in the read-only mode, where you can see what you have filled in. Apart from that, we have two download features where you can download the schedule you have filled in Word, PDF, or Excel, and also the working sheets you have used to fill in the data. So, one very important button is the validate button, which you must clear all the errors or hard checks you face in the portal. Apart from that, you can see below you have the total number of blocks is mentioned, and how many have been completed and how many blocks are pending. So in order to submit your return, you have to fill in all the blocks, and the progress bar will be completely blue. Please move on to the next slide. So we have a concept of working sheets in the portal. So we, our team at ENSD mostly has studied various balance sheets based on the pilot survey we have taken, and related to that, we have a dedicated list of items which we feel is essential for filling in, which are essential for filling in the schedule, and those relate to the balance sheet of the service sector enterprises. So items like, we have three working sheets basically. One is the fixed assets, which is maps to the block 3. Next is the balance sheet working sheet, which maps to block 4. And next we have the profit and loss account working sheet, which maps to block 5, 6A, 6B, 6C, 7A, 7B, 7C, and block 8. So I'll just give brief examples of such items which we have in the working sheet. So suppose we have an item like clubhouse, which if you choose from the working sheet, it will get automatically mapped with item 3 of block 3, which is building. If you select truck or lorry, it will get mapped with item 5, which is transport and equipment. If you select drill machine, it will get mapped with tools and other fixed assets. Similarly, for block 4, we have items like bridge loan, which will map with short-term loan, car loan, which will again map in item 11 in block 4, which is outstanding loans. So apart from that, in profit and loss, we have items like festival bonus, which will get mapped with block 5, item 13 bonus. We have LPG, which will get mapped in block 6C, item 2 fuel and lubricants. And if you select interest from savings account, it will get mapped with block 7C, item 8, which is interest receipt. So in order to, before filing and logging into the system, you must keep all your records with you: balance sheet, profit and loss account, fixed assets, employee details, NIC information, and any other supporting documents which you want to upload into the server. Apart from that, few blocks are there, which is summary blocks, block 9 and 10, which will get automatically populated from all the, if you fill in all the working sheets. And one practical tip we have is, we have in the portal, we have designed the working sheet such that it gets automatically mapped with each item in the schedule. Please move on to the next slide. Okay, so this is example of the working sheet. So if you suppose you select in block 4 car loan and you give the opening and closing amount, it will get automatically linked with block 4 item 11. So this is how we you can fill in using the working sheets in the schedule. Next. So see, this is a continuous process. When you're filing the web data, you can edit the data continuously, and when you edit the data, you have to click on save as draft or next. So this is a good practice to make, because otherwise the data won't get updated. And in we have a visual cue in our system, like when you're working on the current block, it will display as a blue color in the sidebar. When you are, if you have any incomplete blocks, it will be displayed as a red color in the sidebar, and if you have completed or saved any block, it will come as green. So apart from that, we have the validate button, which will enable the system to check all of your data and generate the hard checks or errors. Now hard checks or errors, which we call them, cannot be ignored, and they have to be corrected by the enterprise users. So some of the hard checks may be within a single block, or they might be linked across different blocks. Next. So this is one example of the validation center. So once you click on the validation center, you will get a error message like this. So here you can see that rule number is given, and the description is given that Udom registration number cannot be blank. Next. So here you can see that in item 2.1 you have the question is whether registered under Uddam registration portal. So you have answered yes. So naturally, if in item 7, if you leave the item 7 blank, then a hard check or error will appear, which says that Uddam registration number cannot be blank. So this is a typical example of a hard check or error which you have to clear. So you cannot bypass it unless and until you clear all the hard checks. You cannot submit the return. Next. So after you, yes. So as you can see, when you fill in the Uddam registration number, the error, and save the block, then the hard check error will automatically clear. Next. So apart from that, we have various support and mechanisms for enterprise users. So first of all, we have just recently launched the enterprise facilitation and support directory. So what it does is, if you have received the notice, you can search using DSL number or GSTN or by your company name, and the all information of all the SSO compiler attached with your enterprise, their email ID, phone number, the contact of SRO person, coordinator who is there in the office, the SRO address, pin code, all will be available to you. So if you need any, if you are facing any issue, you can search, use the directory search, and you can directly call the users and request them to resolve your issues. Next. So one issue we have faced is that many enterprises, when they are logging in for the first time, they when they change the password, they somehow they forget the password, or they cannot retain it. So in that case, if the suppose if the password is changed in the first login, then that password should be retained for the next login period. And if it is forgotten by the enterprise, then they can raise a request to the SRO coordinator, and they can request for a reset password. So the SRO coordinator has the provision for resetting the password for that user ID, and they can call them, or they can email them and ask for the reset password, and the SRO coordinator will share the new password with them for a successful login. Next. So next is the request extension module. So what we have found is that many enterprises, they have basically the 30-day period, as Basu sir had said. Initially, if they fail to file the return within the 30 days, so they can raise a request for extension at most 15 days. So how they can raise a extension request? So in the dashboard itself, there is a button for raising the extension request, and it will get submitted to the SSO compiler level. So the SSO compiler has the provision for approving the request subject to the requisite remarks provided by the enterprise. And one important thing to remember is always raise the request before the date for submission expires. And please do not wait for the last moment to raise the request. Uh, Raise it beforehand if you have time. So next slide, please. So what to do in case you have missed the extension period, or if the SSO compiler has failed to approve your request. So in that case, you can call the SSO compiler, or email them. The office email IDs are given in the directory, and you can ask them for request for refer back. So in that case, what will happen is the SSO compiler can via one click and refer back the schedule back to you, and the fresh 30 days will be available to you from the date of refer back for filing in the return. So it may so happen that few enterprises, suppose we have seen that enterprise has filled in up to block 8, and very few blocks are remaining, block 9, 10, 11, 12 are remaining. So in that case, if the enterprise is going for self compilation, they can again email the this request to the SSO compiler or SRO coordinator, and they can refer back your schedule for further self compilation. Next, please. So this is a kind of support and escalation channel we have made. So basically, if you have any doubts regarding the notice authenticity, you can verify using the directory we have launched now, and you can contact the SSO compiler or SSO coordinator if you wish to. If password is lost or not working, you can check the latest notice, or you can request for reset password option. And for that, you can contact the SRO coordinator. If you have a request for extension is pending from the SSO compiler side, you can again follow up with them using the directory. Apart from that, if your DSL has been auto submitted, means if after the expiry of 30 days it has been auto submitted to the SSO compiler level, again you can request for refer back via official channels. And if any hard checks or errors are unresolved, again you can use the directory and call the SSO compiler. Next. So what are the common mistakes to avoid? So we have seen that many enterprises are using the old password in the notice. Once they log in and they change the password, then they are again using the password given in the notice. So that is one mistake they're doing. Apart from that, it is very essential to save the block or any block in which you have updated the data. Next, we have that please go to the previous. Yes. So while attempting submission, you have to resolve all the errors before submission. And if you want to seek support, if you want to request for extension or any other issue you're facing, please request and raise the query well in advance so that we are prepared to provide you a proper reply. Apart from that, if always go to the landing page, you have the instruction manual, you have the tutorial videos are there. Please look into the tutorial videos. Very comprehensive videos are given in the landing page, and first see them and then you log in using the user ID password, and then the work will become much easier. And if you face any uncertainty, if you face any query regarding the filing of the return or any other portal issue you're facing, you can use the address directory. You can contact the FOD officials who are there for you 24/7. Next. So regarding the final submission, all the blocks should be complete and saved. There should be no errors in any block. And if you want to review, if you want to download the schedule which you filled in, you can do it in Word or PDF. And then when you click on submit and confirm, you can submit the DSL. You can file your return. So that is from my side. Thank you.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, sir, and thank you so much, team NSO. I have questions in front of me. So I have actually categorized them in a way where I would be taking up the most asked questions first. So just now you covered in one of the slides that in case the extension was applied and then the filing was not done, then in that case they can request the SRO to refer the matter back. If you could just maybe throw a little bit more light around it, because this is a repetitive question where participants are asking, let's say the due date has lapsed for whatever reason, they have applied for the 15-day extension and that due date has also lapsed, and now they are not able to log in, or the details or the fields are frozen in the web portal, then how they should take it forward. Also, the second question that is attached to it is, what are the legal consequences for such failure of providing the information?
First of all, as it has been described, once the notice has been issued, it has a time period of 30 days to be filled up. If it is filled up within that 30 days, then as enterprise self-compiled that thing and it comes to the SSO compilers. But if they fail, means if they have the time period has elapsed or prior to elapse, they need to just put a request from the portal itself. Suppose you are on the 29th day or in 28th day of their notice, you can just put a request of click of a button in the in your login ID in your dashboard. Then that request will come to us, means not in the SR office. The SRO compiler will approve that thing, and your 15 days will automatically get extended. And suppose you cannot fill up in another 15 days also for some of the any of the reason, means then also you can put another request of another 15 days. So you will get around 30 days for initially, and then 15 days incrementally for two 15 days, means it's around 60 days you will be compiling. But in spite of that, if you are not able to do that, then it will be auto compiled. Means that is auto compile means it is nothing to be afraid of. Any pre-filled data will be filled into that. It will as it is. Suppose you have filled up 4-5 blocks. If we are able to fill up 4-5 blocks, that will that will be submitted automatically to the SSO. Now what you require, if you require some more clarification, because now your enterprise login will be disabled, you can see the return, but you cannot enter anything because it is auto compile. And now what you have to do, you have to search the official number of that SRO. You have to make a contact with that person and request them to refer you back. Means you need much more time, another 30 days maybe. Then once it is referred back from their end, you will get another 30 days to get it self compiled. So that way it works. Means it is around 60 days, 30 days initially, 15 days and 15 days, 60 days, and again you have a second opportunity to get a refer back from the respective field officers, and then that respective field officers will refer it back to you. You will get another fresh 30 days. So you have to fill it up within that 90 days period.
And legal consequence if
and there is no such legal consequence.
There is no legal consequence.
There is no such legal consequences to just to, because it's because we have so many units, so we need to process the data also. So that is the time period initially given for 30 days. And if you fail for that thing also, if you are unable to do it, so then also there is no such legal issues will be there. But we will expect that you will be able to guide those enterprises and get it filled up within this time period, because it is 60 to 90 days period is much good enough time, because and it is a balance sheet of 24-25, so it is already been settled, audited and everything. So that 90 days period is, I think it is sufficient to fill it up from the enterprise.
Right, sir. In addition to this query, there is a particular. Yes, sir.
Just to add
Yes, sir.
to this, if at all the enterprise does not provide information, then it will attract legal provision.
Yes.
That is a prerogative of the statistics officer as per the legal provision mandated, documented in the Statistics Act and the rules framed thereunder. If at all it is not given, then legal provision may be activated by the statistics officer based on the situation.
All right, sir. So there is a particular query of Nikunji where he's saying that we had applied for extension of deadline, but now that we are logging in, all the cells are frozen. How do we reactivate it so that the data can be filled?
Actually, I think he has put the request from the portal itself, but now that respective field office will respond to that and get it from approval from their end. Once they approve, then that cells will be reactivated. If they are, you need to further contact with those. If it is not done within 1 or 2 days, it should be contact to that particular field officers to get it approved. Otherwise, it will remain like that.
Sir, also I think in that case, I think we already mentioned that it is prerogative from the enterprise unit side to raise such request well before 1 or 2 days are remaining.
Yes. No, what they are saying is they have already put a request, but it is not being.
Sir, in that case, the DSL will get auto submitted.
No. Auto submit to ho gaya.
In case you are not getting a reply, then you contact. Number is there.
SRO.
Number is there. So you tell that I am not able to see. Enter it. He can see, but not enter it. So you request. They will again do that on refer back, and then you have that.
Got it, sir. Sir, there is one pertinent question which has been asked by at least 5 members. They are asking that since the compilation of data is entity-wise, as in the financial statements are consolidated entity-wise, and the reporting for this survey is GSTN-wise, that is state-wise. So, is there any prescribed method which NSO provides for distribution or reporting of share capital, other balance sheet items, so that it can be as in followed as a process by everybody?
Yeah, that is well documented. As we said, in the web portal, there is you can see our instruction manual, and in the instruction manual, there are examples that if it is a consolidated balance sheet of manufacturing and service, then how to bifurcate it, split it into manufacturing and service, and report only the service part. If it is spread across multiple states, then how you split that balance sheet among the GST enterprises among states. The basic, we have given 3 criteria. I'll just tell in nutshell, but the detailed numerical example is given in the instruction manual. Suppose I am a company and I have 3 GSTN under my CIN, and then I do know that what are the turnovers against each of these GSTN, because that is the basis of my filing GSTN. So I can split whatever information is based on this turnover. If I do not have the turnover, I can use the income of these particular enterprises. And if I do not have neither, then if I know that these many persons, suppose in one of the GSTN enterprises there are 10%, then in another 5 and another 5, then I'll distribute it into 2:1:1. So that is how we are suggesting to split the consolidated balance sheet. We have given it in our instruction manual with example, and we'll just request whosoever is raising this question to go through that, and you will probably understand how it is done.
All right, sir. So there's one more question which is popping up again and again, whether it is applicable to manufacturing and trading entities also.
Yeah, it is not applicable to manufacturing, but it is applicable to trading. But it is often seen that a particular enterprise has one component of manufacturing and another component of service. In that case, you have to split your figures, and you have to report the service part for this service or trading part. Trading is very much a part of this survey.
All right, sir. Sir, an additional question around the balance sheet items. Preeti ji is asking whether we should divide the share capital also amongst the locations because it is of the company.
Share capital is not considered as a transaction or as a component in this schedule. So even if share capital is coming and you are putting that result, it will take it outside the purview. So it will not be mapped into anything. So it is not required to be split.
Okay. So Saurabh ji is asking, is this going to be an annual activity, like an annual return?
Yes.
Okay.
It is going to be an annual activity, but it's not. The sampling design does not tell us that the same enterprise will be, given a notice every year. There will be the bigger enterprise which will probably, with probability 1, will get a notice every year. But the smaller entities may not get a notice next year, and new entity may get a notice next year. But it is an annual activity, yes.
Understood. Sir, Govindji is asking, does West Bengal State Electricity Transmission and Distribution Company Limited is being covered under ASISSE or not? The entire paid up share capital is 100% held by West Bengal government, and it comes under the NIC code of 35107, which is also out of the coverage, he's saying.
So it is. You have to see again. You can refer to the instruction manual. As per the coverage of this survey, it should not be covered. So if it is not covered, you have to give a proper status code. Even if it is not covered and it has got selected for some reason, you have to give a status code that it is not outside the coverage of the survey, and fill up. You don't need to fill up the detailed block for that.
Sir, Shweta ji is asking, can the officer ask for data in more detail, which is beyond the format by ASISSE over the phone? Also, if there is any technical issue, is there any specific department helping or dealing with it?
That is only we have one. You must be receiving the notice from particular field offices in anywhere in India. So you need to contact that particular office to help you out regarding any queries initially to them.
But they may ask some question which is not exactly the way it is put, because that may be essential for validating the data you have furnished.
Also, sir, I would like to add you, as we have already mentioned that we are collecting this data for ultimately, bringing out the estimates at granular sectoral level. Now, after suppose you have given your return, you have submitted the return and all those things, now it will be processed. So it may so happen also that maybe, after filing the return, maybe after 1 month or so, again, for some specific query, of course, they will not go for the details thing, for some specific query that can, our field people can contact you for the clarification. That will be a very important aspect of our finalization of data. So that is also
that is an iterative process. This will go on till the data is validated, and for that our SSO compiler or the field office will be the persons who will go visit if required, because they will validate, they will check, they will make check the consistency between different blocks, different entries. So if they feel that this particular entry is not falling in line with other entries, so they may seek for clarification, and then necessary correction will be, modification will be done if necessary. Otherwise, they will give appropriate remarks for us to understand why the entry is so peculiar or so it's like.
All right. Sir, Nikunji is asking, we have misplaced our login credentials and have written a mail to local MOSPC office, but haven't received any revert yet. What should we do?
For that, you need to contact that SR office. I think SR office has, you have already emailed to them, but they have not responded, I think. Means that that is your query. So you need to contact that persons. Now the telephone directory is there, so you can search that unit, and the concerned person mobile number is also there. So you can contact it over phone, and you can say that we have already put this request, and that they will respond immediately, I think.
Sir, Vishesh ji is asking that there is a vehicle manufacturing company which has GST across several states. However, they have received notices from some other states also. How do they take this up? From the states wherein they are not registered only.
No, you see, if I'm not wrong, probably that the manufacturing company may have a sales counter in one of those states. Probably it doesn't have a manufacturing unit in that particular state, but if it is a sales counter, it's doing some trading in that state, then it might get a notice. But if you can probably refer it the specific case to us, if it is there, that even if it is not a service, if they are not doing any trade, then we can see why it happened. But generally what we have seen in such queries, that probably they do not have a manufacturing unit, but they have a small servicing unit, maybe a after sales service unit. If you have an after sales service unit in a state where you do not have a manufacturing factory, then also you will come under this.
Sir, Madhvi ji is asking a specific error query. She is saying error clarification required table 6A, item 8, column 4, rule underscore C 006A. Shall I repeat? Sir, do you have access to Q&A section also? This is question number 28 by Madhvi Vora. Error clarification required for table 6A, item 8, column 4, rule C006A. She is asking, purchase value of goods traded did not match with the control figure. Kindly recheck and provide values against appropriate CPC codes. Table 7A, item 8, column 4, rule C007A says, total receipt of goods traded did not match with control figure. Kindly recheck and provide values against appropriate CPC codes. She is receiving these two errors. She is saying, I need clarification regarding these two errors, how to deal with them.
Okay, madam. As you know, during the demonstration, during the presentation on web portal, it was mentioned that we are using that balance sheet mode. Now, like a balance sheet mode, we also have a working sheet on profit loss. So suppose in your profit loss, suppose there's a trading company which is purchasing goods for its trading purpose, and suppose it has purchased goods of what, say 5 lakhs. So in the profit and loss account, it will show as the purchase. Now that's a consolidated figure of 5 lakh. Okay, you give it in the profit loss account. Now the block 6, say for example, in the instant case, it requires that now it may be that they are basically purchased 3 or 4 products for different products whose total value is 5 lakh. So in profit and loss you have that consolidated figure, but in block 6A you need to give that bifurcation, and that bifurcation that is the product that is to be codified as per the central product classification. There is a whole master available, and also in the web portal I think the CPC drop down list is available. So the purpose of this basic validation is that in block 6A, the products that are that is to be given, say maybe 2 products or 3 products, their total should equal to that 5 lakh, because otherwise there will be mismatch. While the profit will be tallied, there will be mismatch. So this is the basic purpose of this error. So once you get this error, the thing that needs to be done is that you check that in block 6A, in the items 1 to 7, whatever be the products are entered, that maybe 2 products, 3 products, 1 products, that total value should exactly match with the figure that was entered at the as the purchase of goods in the profit loss statement. The similar logic holds for the block 7A also. Like you have say sold products of what, say 8 lakh of rupees. Now you have 3 products that you have sold. So in block 7A, you need to ensure that the sum total of the individual 3 products matches with that 8 lakh figures. So this is the very purpose of this validation.
And one more thing is that is we have also got similar type of queries we have got there. You may fail to put the total figure in PL account also. Either you have put in the CPC wise data in 6A or 6B, but if you have not put the control figure in the PL account, then only you will get also this type of similar error, because your then the control figure will be showing 0 and you will be bifurcating all the things. It will again be a mismatch. So that type of queries we have also received.
Sir, Yukti ji is asking, how should we fill the data state-wise? Should it be NIC code-wise or stream-wise for the companies who manufacture and provide services both? I think, sir, you have already covered if there is manufacturing, then should be separate,
Yes, yes.
services should be separate, right,
Leave
sir?
the manufacturing because it's outside the purview of this coverage of this survey. We only have to take the service part.
Right, sir. Sir, Ashima ji is asking, the notice was received by registered post on 4th of June. The last date to submit, it says 30 days. Will the last date be as per the date of the notice? 30 days from the date of the notice or 30 days from receipt of notice?
It's actually this is there is when the notice is generated from the field office, the counter starts of the days count from there. So once you received, suppose by post, since we don't have the email IDs of every enterprise prior to the start of the survey, so we cannot send it through email. So we have to send it through post only, that notice. So it may take time through post 7 days. So your time period, I think, when you log in into on the 8th day, it will showing around 22 days left. So many queries we received that 22 day we are not getting actually 30 days, which is written in the notice, because it has counted from the notice generation date that is generated in the field office, and by the days lost for the postal delay or postal communication. So you in that case, what you can do that if you require 30 days, you can always put an extension of 15 days then and there. So you will be getting those 22 plus 15 days. So that will suffice your 37 days. You will be then that will be okay from your enterprise, and that once if you are unable to fill up within that 37 days, again you put a request of 15 days, so it will become 52 days. So even if you cannot do that, it will get auto compiled to our end, and then again it will be refer back, so your 52 days will again extended to 30 days. So it will be like that only. No, we
Right,
cannot
sir.
set that data, because that 22 days cannot be put in as a 30 days, because it is as per portal system generated date is from the notice generation date.
Notice date. Understood. Understood, sir. Sir,
Extend it to 30
Sir, Saksham ji is asking, they are not preparing trial balance state level. Is there anything prescribed for that as well? Any method for that?
We are not encouraging the enterprises to fill up this questionnaire using the trial balance. We are saying that if you are you have a consolidated balance sheet, then use some methodology for splitting that balance sheet. As we said that it is clearly given with example in our instruction manual. You can use the turnover, income, or employment, whatever information is available at the GSTN level. You can split the CIN level information so that it remains consistent. Because otherwise, if you build it up on the trial balance, our experience, past experience shows in other surveys that many a times it becomes inconsistent.
Sir, Vishesh ji is asking, is there any facility of Excel templates where we fill in the details and upload instead of going to the portal and uploading information?
No, right now we don't have that. You have to just fill up in the portal itself.
Right, sir. Sir, 1 second. Some repeated questions are there. So this unlock issue is actually happening quite a lot. Every fifth or sixth query is around this only, that the client has missed the deadline and the login has got locked.
Again, that can be replied as it has to be referred back. Means they have to contact the SRO office and it should be referred back.
Right, sir. Sir, Saksham ji is asking a peculiar query around the employees. He's saying employees are working in Punjab, but the salaries are getting processed through Haryana. And our enterprises Haryana activities are all centralized in Haryana, as in all the HR activities are in Haryana. Now, would the salaries come in Punjab or Haryana? Similarly, is for PF and ESI contributions as well.
In this case, suppose you have some employees in Punjab, they are working in the Punjab premise, I mean the Punjab establishment, but it may happen that their salaries are being processed from Hyderabad. But in this case, in the Punjab return, they have to be accounted because they are working for that establishment, irrespective of the fact that their salaries is being processed from the central, from your headquarters or so. And accordingly, once the salary comes, the components like the the EPFO, the ESIC, that will also come in the Punjab return only.
Okay. Sir, Arvind ji is asking, we have 2 GSTINs in Telangana. We have received notice for 1 GSTIN of Telangana. Shall we apportion the values between those GSTINs or shall we give a single report for entire Telangana?
I think it is one of the best questions of this entire thing, because you have to split. First answer is you have to split, because I am telling during my presentation, what did I say, that we have 9 lakh enterprises in the frame and we selected only 1.23 lakhs. So each enterprise selected represents many other similar enterprises. You understand? So if I give, there is a sampling, there is something called sampling weight attached to every unit that we have selected. Suppose my one unit is selected, but the other is not selected. That does not mean that other is not represented in this survey. Maybe the other is represented by another similar unit. So in nutshell, we have to split irrespective of the fact whether you have both the GSTN or all the GSTNs are selected in the survey. But it is a very good question and very pertinent question.
Sir, Yukti ji is asking, requesting that if we can share the URL of the landing page where all the videos are available. Is it possible to be shared?
In the chat.
Yeah, please. Yes. Yes. Sir, 1 second. Sir, Uday ji is requesting for a blanket extension of timeline for all the enterprises because of non-awareness. So yes. Okay. So moving on. 1 second. The repeated question, sir. Just 1 second. Sir, again a specific error question. Question number 41 by Sudha Alaji. Can I take it up? Yes. So in block 2 for point 10, principal minor activity, if any during the accounting period, 6-digit code as per NIC 2025. First 2 digits of item 10 should not be equal to first 2 digits of item 8. The error is popping up as rule 0019. See, first three digit of principal minor activity is either not present in column 2 of block 2.1 or does not have the second highest percentage in column 4 among under coverage NIC activities. Please correct. How to correct?
Here the principle, the basic definition is that once there are two activities, they are to be different at NIC two-digit level. That means suppose the enterprise is doing some activity, but the first two digits say 46, so it is doing the wholesale trading. Another the same enterprise is also doing the retail trading, so 47 NIC. So when these the first two digits are different, only they can be considered as major or minor. But suppose the enterprise is involved in the wholesale trading of say two different type of activity, so in both cases the NIC the first two digit are 46, so there the question of the principal minor doesn't come. So that the validation says exactly that thing, that if you have to if the enterprise has to have a principal minor activity, the first two digit of that activity should be distinctly different from the major activity that you have already reported in block 2 item 8.
In addition to that, I think the question also talks about block 2.1. In block 2.1, we are listing out all the activities and their percentage share in their value of output, gross sale value. So there, suppose I have given three activities, activity 1, 2, 3, and the activity 1 has 50% share, activity 2 has 30% share, and activity 3 has second activity 40%, and maybe the third activity is 10%. But then my major activity will be activity 1 and minor activity will be activity 2. If I have given activity 3 which is having 10%, I reported it to be having 10% percentage share in block 2.1, then it will pop up a error, because in that block I have declared that activity 2 is the second largest activity as per gross sale value, and now I am writing here in the minor something which is not there, which is inconsistent with that block. So that is also another reason this error may come.
Right, sir. Sir, it's already 3-1. And there are about 30 more questions in the Q&A box. How shall we proceed? I can't hear you.
And then we can filter a few questions from there, and then we can wrap up.
But we will like to have all the questions, including those which are already answered, so that we will prepare some sort of clarification on the questions raised and put it in our this portal. Okay, all the questions you please as it is. We will reply those questions and put it, including the unanswered question, which seems to be trivial but very important for us.
And we'll also refer this.
Sure, sir. Sir, we have email IDs and phone numbers of the members as well over there. The tech team would be able to give you the questions. Yes, sir. Sir, I'll quickly take 2-3 questions and then we can conclude. Darshanji is asking that they have registered Udyam only in 26-27, and since the return is pertaining to 24-25, shall they select no for Udyam?
Yeah, no. Yes. The answer will be no.
Okay. Sir, Sudhaji is asking, after entering all the expenses and incomes, some fields are duplicated by the system and validation errors are popping due to this, and no access is there to correct them. How to rectify?
Okay, I think in this case, what might happen is in the PL account, I think they might have entered the same item twice. I think it is so. Suppose in the they might have reported the CPC code in the block. Suppose say 7A or 7B and 6B, and then they might have entered the item in PL account, which might have gotten mapped with items block 6B or 7C. So in that case, these two amounts are the same and they will get duplicated in the net profit block.
Okay, sir. Madhulika ji is asking, should we report deemed supply as per GST, that is stock transfer from one state to another within a company in the survey?
Deemed transfer from one state. Sorry, can you repeat? Can you repeat the question?
Yes, yes. She's asking, should we report deemed supply as per GST? That is stock transfer from one state to another state within the company.
Stock transfer.
Stock to you mean stock of trading goods?
Yes, yes.
No, okay, yes. Stock of trading goods, yes. Suppose you have a sister concern and you are transferring your stock to another sister concern of another state, then that is, if the sister concern in that another state is selected in this survey, then there is, yes, it has to be, I mean, considered. Yes.
Okay. Sir, Mukesh ji is asking, I have contacted field officer. She says all logins are taken back now. You have to send the details to the field officer and they will only be able to log in and fill the data. Is this okay?
No, that now I think it has been previously around 10 days back. We have made this provision of refer back. It may that this query may have been earlier also. That's why it has been. Now they can again put that request that you should refer it back to, because now all the units can be referred back to the respective.
And sir, there is no need of physical submission of any documents to the officer, right?
The balance sheet and PL account we need to upload.
Okay. Okay. So one second. Sir, block query is there. Sir, Gaurav ji is asking, when I fill blogs and check blog 7C, then all receipts shown there in table, but out of total receipts, some receipts shown separately under the table out of coverage items. But total of table figure out of coverage item receipt is matched with field receipts. My question is, why some receipts gone out of coverage?
This I explained in my initial talk and during my presentation also. Certain transactions that are valid transaction in terms of business accounting principles, they are not considered as part of output or input or capital formation in system of national account parlance. So this is the reason some of the items are not taken as it is. And we have done that mapping. So whatever you get in, generally you get in the balance sheet or PL account financial statements, which are not to be treated as under the purview of the survey, they are taken out and reported as out of coverage items. It is because the same transaction is being treated separately in business accounting and national accounting.
Sir, Kayurji is asking if any unit previously registered as manufacturing unit, but since 6 years is not doing any manufacturing, only trading, shall they be considered as manufacturing or trading for the statistics purposes?
Yeah, trading, because you have received a notice, because you have given a code in the GSTN that is of trading. You will be treated as trading.
Okay. Sir, there is a particular query. If the SSO does not extend the timeline for unprofessional reasons, then what is the remedy?
You can talk to the statistics officer.
Yes,
it is better to talk to the statistics officer from whose signature the notice has been issued. You can scale up the issue to the statistics officer.
That is also being available in that search mode in the directory. So you can contact that senior officer in that organization.
So the details of SRO coordinator are also there. So if you are unable to contact the SSO compiler, they are refusing to comply with you, you can call the SRO coordinator.
Right. Sir, Yukti ji is asking if we allocate revenue purchases on the basis of method just discussed, how do we give bifurcation in block 6B, purchases CPC code wise?
Yeah, yes, suppose as we were discussing, like suppose you have got that proportion factor. Now suppose there are 3 units and you have purchased say 100 rupees of products. Now after apportioning for the selected unit, say you get 30 unit as purchased for that. Now you need to see what is the product was purchased. Now here are two cases. Case one is that suppose it may so happen that that in the combined balance sheet, there is one product which has been purchased by the company which doesn't appear for the other two companies. That means they are not selected. In that case, there is no need of apportioning. Okay, so that you need to see. And the second case is that, as we are discussing, suppose there's one product which has been purchased by all three GST unit of that company. So in that case, that apportioning factor applies. But in the other case where that particular product is only applicable to the selected unit that you are filing the return for, then there is no need of apportioning. You can put the whole purchase value in block 6A or 6B.
And also, while apportioning, we have to apply our logic. Suppose I have a CIN, and under this CIN there are two GSTN I have. One is doing trading, one is doing software development. Now the trading goods doesn't need to be apportioned. We have to use my logic that the total purchase of trading goods is only for the trading establishment GST enterprise, and if there is something which is common to both the enterprise, that only needs to be apportioned. If we can segregate clearly from the income and expenditure that these income or these expenditure are attributable, can be attributed to one particular GST, and then will not take recourse to apportioning.
All right, sir. Moving on to the last question for today. Sir, Anurag ji is asking under item 2 of block 1, it's asking about status of enterprise. We are a trading enterprise, not producing any services. But only one course is relevant here, open and producing services. What to select?
Trading is very much part of this survey. So if you are doing trading, so you will say give the status code 1.
Okay. So that's it, sir. Chairman sir and Vice Chairman sir would not be joining us for the end of the session today. I would take this opportunity to thank the entire team of NSO for taking out so much time with our participants and enlightening them on the statistical survey. Thank you so much, team. And thank you so much to both the speakers and the tech team as well as the committee and chair and vice chair. Thank you, participants. We shall now conclude the session.
Thank you very much. Please share with us the list of questions. Thank you.
Sure, sir.
Thank you.
Bye. Tech team, kindly conclude.
Recording stopped.